Hey, what's up, guys? This is Brown Does to August 16th update. Now, we are currently sitting in another maintenance, actually. Barely could play the game, and another maintenance happened, which is gonna be like 3 hours. So, I decided to take the time right now and talk about the August 16th update that just finished, like 2 hours ago, I think. Went live. So let's see what we have in store for us. Okay, so the first thing we're getting is the new pickup unit, which is the pool party Angelica. One thing to notice here is that she is not a limited character, so you will be able to get her later down the line too, or from random pools. So she's not like Shara or fucking Justia, right? Neither of those that are actually limited. She is not limited. I think Gray and Laffel might be limited though. They might be. I'm not sure about that, but I know that Angelica herself is not. She's a tank, or at least definitely a way more tanky unit because, as you can see, she has incoming damage reduced by 75% for 2 turns. This does not scale, by the way, so it's gonna stay 75 across all imprints or all duplicates of her costume. What is going to go up is the amount of max HP you deal with each attack. So, as you can see, attacks the enemy 3 times and deals magic damage equal to 15% of enemy maximum HP with each attack. So this will go up. I think it goes up until 25% on max level, if I'm not mistaken. Honestly, hard for me to say how good she is. We just had the nerf for the damage based on max HP. I would imagine in PvP she will be pretty good. In PvE, I don't think she will be that amazing. Depending like what kind of content you're doing, obviously, because if you cannot reach the cap 10,000 damage with her, or you're close to it, then sure, right? Like that's fine. So since like if you were using maxed max imprinted, that would be like 25 per hit, so 75% total, which would mean enemies would have to have like a good multiple thousand HP, like definitely above 10k. I think like 12.5. I think that's right. Granted, that is not counting crits. Obviously, if you crit, then even on 10k HP target, you would overshoot it probably. You only need 1 crit on 3 hits, and you'll hit the cap exactly on 10k target. So yeah, anything that's above 10k HP, you're probably on max imprinted. You would overshoot it and not get the full damage. So. But still, you had 4 people. As you can see, it's the same pattern as Rubia. So, not too bad. For a tank unit, you would do 4 SP if you get her to +2. +3, sorry, +3. So, you'll have 4 SP cost with very good damage reduction and max HP, so you don't really need to... you don't need to build her in terms of HP, like high HP or high anything, really. So you can pretty much build her however you like. Most likely she will be built as a tank, I would imagine. So not too bad, honestly, not too bad. I just don't know how viable she will be in PvE, but then again, I think even with her cheap damage, like if you can hit 4 targets, I think that would be nice. Regardless if you have the 10k cap. half healthing 4 enemies first turn, and then, you know, some other damage dealer finishes them off. It could definitely work fine. So then her weapon, which looks pretty decent. Actually, I quite like the looks of the weapon. You get crit damage as exclusive ability, which is nice because that's the only stat I think she would care about, to be honest. So that's nice that they gave her something that makes sense. Also, she's a magic damage dealer, by the way. Like, if that, I did not mention that, but yeah, she's a magic unit, not a physical. So okay, now next thing, they're adding the 4 and 5 star guarantee system. So basically, if you do a 10 pull, you're guaranteed a 4 star. If you do 100 pulls, you're guaranteed a 5 star. That is actually shared across all the banners for characters. So no matter which character banner you're pulling on, be it limited unit, not limited, but just rate up, or regular banner, it's shared across all of them. So you might want to watch out which banner you're summoning on with your daily pulls, because you might by accident use your pity on not the banner you wanted to use it on. So just be careful with that. Obviously, if you get a random 5 star, that's like, you know, beyond your control. So yeah, I mean, that's just the minus of having the counter shared across all banners. You can just drop a random 5 star on one of the banners, and maybe that's not the character you wanted, but you have daily pulls, so why wouldn't you pull, right? So that's just, it is what it is, basically. So obviously, as in any gacha, if you get the 4 or 5 star earlier, the count will reset. So yeah, that it just resets like literally in pretty much all gachas. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the guaranteed stuff. They will be doing the compensation for it, I think, at the end of the month, if I'm not mistaken. For people that did do a lot of pulls but didn't get the characters, so they will look through your history and they will compensate you from the start of the game when the game launched until I don't remember, it was like August 1st, I think, like beginning of this month. They will compensate that period. So yeah. Oh yeah, they talk about it here. So the reward will be sent on August 30th, like I said, end of the month. And here are the rules or criteria for the costume, random tickets and stuff. So yeah. Mirror war replay system, they talked about it, so you will be able to see up to 20 battle records that are saved for each attack tab and defense record tab. So you'll be able to, from my understanding, see either of those separately, and both of them should be storing 20 last battles. So you'll be able to see how your defense is doing and how your attack is doing. Oh, that's interesting. So saved records are preserved up for up to 24 hours. So I think after a day, no matter if they're the latest, they get deleted, which is that's interesting. It's actually very interesting. Evil Castle will have floor 4, 5, and 6 added. Again, I already talked about Evil Castle, what I think about the content, so not for me. I'm not gonna repeat myself. Just not really happy about it that much. Next, character profile and voice replay function. So that system, like I imagined, you will just get some new nice side info about the characters, which is cool touch. You have similar system in Genshin or Star Rail, maybe some other games. Basic information, stuff like, you know, age, height, birthday, stuff they like, stuff they don't like, hobbies, maybe some interesting facts about the character, that kind of stuff. Another thing to notice is that different costumes will have actually different information about them, which is kind of cool. I already saw on Reddit some comparisons, and you'll have like different ages, for example, for the same character, but with different costumes, so you can kind of track when they were doing, like in terms of timeline, when they were doing specific activities, right? So, for example, when she has hood, she's 15-year-old. When she has no hood, I think it's still 15-year-old, but then when she goes to school, for example, with the kendo Justia, I think it's like 17 years old or something. So you can kind of track like how the character developed with time. So that's kind of cool. A small touch, but really cool. Also, you have the ability to play the voice lines for the character, which is nice. I'm assuming those are like all the voice lines the character actually has, so any like welcome messages or after battle victory stuff, or any like other special voice lines, so you'll be able to actually play them, which is nice. Improvement to Powder of Hope shop product labeling. This one is actually really cool. Definitely something they should have done ages ago, but now you will be able to I already actually seen it, so you can see the picture of the costume, so you don't only have the name of the costume itself, but you also will have a picture behind. It should be now very, very easy to identify what costumes are in the shop, which versions of the costume. Is it the rate up one, or is it the regular one, whatever. It's very easy to identify now, and like I would imagine people will stop making mistakes now with that, so very good. Change the location of monthly package product acquisition, don't care. Changes how dev time is applied. So, okay, so they changed the dev timer like we talked about before. They want to speed up the game for PvP. They also changed the SP for it, which is interesting. So after the change, the defense and magic defense decrease rate is 100%, not 20%, and incoming damage increase is 50% instead of 0. So basically, you have 0 defensive capabilities. That's at least how I read it. So you have 0 defenses once it like reaches it, the death time, and you take 50% more damage from hits. So the game should just go very quickly now once it reaches that stage. So it's the same also for PvE and PvP. So that's interesting that PvE also is getting changed in that regard. Like, I know some of my fights early on, I actually used the fact that we got death time, so I could one-shot the enemies and win the hard encounter. So I think now it might be harder for people to like push main story, like hard difficulties, like I did. So that's kind of interesting. So Mirror War SP stuff had to change, honestly. I think it just felt awful for defense team, or not for defense, for attack team rather, because you start with only 3 SP, you cannot really do much, and defense team can literally like use almost all abilities, which it just, yeah, I don't think it was fair at all. The basic attacks, like, they mattered more prior to the tankiness update, but after they buffed up the defenses and stuff, the auto attacks, you pretty much never kill anything turn 1 as attacker with your basic attacks, which means that you have to survive like full onslaught of defense team with their abilities, which like they just one shot and they make themselves more tanky and stuff. So it was very hard for offense team, I feel like, to actually do some damage. So I think this is a good change. Now you will start with 5 SP, which is not that much more, but now at least you will be able to for example, buff with Arinest and then use one character skill that costs 3. So you'll be able to at least eliminate 1 unit and have a buff. Maybe you can use 2 units if you have a 2 cost ability. I think I'm close to. I think I need 1 more copy of Elenir to have 2 cost. So then you can maybe use 2 abilities. You can use a 2 cost and then a 3 cost. So there's more options with 5 SP, definitely. Defense team will not have a 10, it will have 6 instead. So they have slightly more but than you when you start, but yeah, they go second, and it's -4, so that's like -1 ability on defense team, right? So that's very nice. And then recovery every turn, it's 6 instead of 3. So okay, we'll see how it goes basically. I don't really care too much about PvP, but yeah, we'll see. I will feel the difference because I'll see my win rate either going up or down. Okay, yeah, Evil Castle, the scoring system. Look, we went over the scoring system before, but they changing it. So the TLDR, if you don't want to go into depth, and if you want to, then go ahead, you can read it. I scrolled it for you. But the TLDR is they make it more pay to win, meaning the people that will have characters with copies and vast variety of characters, they will be able to get the high scores and high rewards. People that are free to play like me will not be able to do that because you will just not be able to compete with someone who has the maxed out costumes that do way more damage and can one-shot everything turn 1. So yeah, basically this change is it's harder for free to play to do anything because everything is harder, so only whales will be able to like first turn clear and get max score. You will not see a max score as a free to play, I don't think. Now collection buff, maximum percentage application is in place, so you can only have 80% maximum extra attack, magic attack, and HP. This was talked about before, so they finally added the cap. It's fine, like I don't really care too much. I don't think I'm even close to capping on attack and magic attack, but this is I'm sure a prevention for the future, like down a year or something. If people keep playing where you just completely overpower, like especially in PvP, because I'm pretty sure they actually get applied in PvP. Like someone who just started the game and has like 20% versus someone who already played a year and has, let's say, 120%. It would be hard to compete. So with the cap, at least, you know, there's a certain point where we're equal. It still will take a long time for a new player to reach it, but it's there. Okay, daily missions and weekly missions change. So I'm not gonna go for all of them, but they basically deleted some of the annoying missions and made some of the annoying missions less grindy. So there's just less things you need to do, especially for weekly. Same for daily, honestly, too. Rewards stay still the same, so you don't have to worry about that, but you just need to do less, so that's nice. Yeah, as you can see, they changed the number of missions that have to be completed. So instead of 3, 6, 10, it's 1, 3, 5 for daily, and for weekly, instead of 3, 6, 10, it's 3, 5, 8. So the rewards stayed the same, just need to do less missions, and the annoying ones got axed, basically. Another improvement I'm very happy about is the today's quest reward. So once you complete a daily quest, normally you would get the I think 1 hour. They say 20 minutes up to 3 quests 1 hour, but I'm not sure. I felt like I was always hour for the region. All merchants would be like happy with your reputation and whatnot. So the prices would be better. Now they changed it, instead of being like a 1 hour or the 20-minute whatever, now it's gonna be 7 days. So I think you will be able to do maybe like one quest, like 3 quests during a day, but 1 per each area, or like start in chapter 1, 2 and 3, right? And then next day do 4, 5 and 6, and then 7, 8. So in 3 days you would have like all the main story chapters covered with reputation. At least I think you will be able to do it like that. They say here that doing 2 or more quests does not increase the retention time, but I think that only means for the specific location. So if you did like 3 quests for the first chapter, it's not going to be 21 days. It's still going to be 7 days. So I think doing different regions, 1 mission per region, would make more sense, and then you can have again like good reputation everywhere. And yeah, you just need to keep doing them in rotation, I guess. Like, we'll see how it exactly works, but either way, still going to be good, having multiple days and not have to worry about it. New in-game events and updates. So we're getting the Sylvia Pass event, which is similar to beginner pass event, where you every day you will unlock new missions to do, and after 7-day period you will see all of the missions, and once you complete all of them, you get the last reward. The reward here will be the Desert Flower Sylvia costume, so that's her regular costume, which is nice. You can already recruit her through pub in chapter story 5. After completing it, she will be there in the pub. You can recruit her. So now it's there's your chance to get another copy of her just doing the missions. You can also get her SR exclusive gear. It's not UR, by the way, it's only SR, so it's not the highest rarity, but still SR. If you don't have gear and you did not roll her weapon yet, this is definitely a good weapon you can use for the time being, and then later down the line, once you get her UR version, you can swap. So still good. Also, we're getting the Path of Adventure Slime double acquisition event. So like we talked about during the like the summer event and stuff, they did one or 2 weeks of double, or not double, double rice. So essentially you could do twice as many slimes. Now they have similar event, but instead you just get double the amount of slimes you normally would have gotten, but you have normal amount of rice. So if you were doing slimes like I was doing during that time, then you're basically just, yeah, you're still in the same boat. You still have double the slimes than normal. So very nice. And then Pool Party Angelica is added on 16th. She goes away on 30th, so 2 weeks. And Sylvia, Admiral Sylvia, is getting added on 23rd, and she goes away I think on September 6th, so again 2 weeks. Both of those have only 1 daily free pull. It's not a double free pull like we had with Justia and Shera, so something to note. Now, new packages, I don't really care about them, although I did see there were like some diamond packages with crafting materials, and I think with the 4-star rank up materials for characters. I don't know if they're worth it. It's hard to say. I don't think there's any rush to 4-star everyone right now. So like, I don't know. I personally will be playing the long game and just taking my time. Don't really care too much to push. There's nothing for me to push for. I already did everything there is to do in the game. I guess minus the Evil Castle, which I don't care about, and PvP, which I also don't care about. So yeah, I'm just chilling right now. Powder of Hope shop items, so the Idol Seer and Manager Gray left, as well as Therese and Android Queen Necklace. They're already gone. New units that will be in the shop or are in the shop right now is the Lawful, the Gray, both pool party versions, normal Sylvia and normal Seer. It's actually kind of interesting that normal Seer is in the shop. We just got her Idol version. So, and then some fixes, and then 1,000 diamond compensation. Yeah, overall, I don't think they talked about anything that we already didn't know. I think pretty much everything here is pretty much new already. What's up? So yeah, there was like a lot of stuff, but realistically, there was not that much, to be honest, in this patch. Obviously the new character is probably the most exciting stuff there, and for some people probably Evil Castle changes and PvP changes are exciting, or maybe quite the other way around. Maybe they're less excited about it. So and I know the maintenance is happening right now, 3 hours, which kind of sucks, and it looks like the only reason why is because the share exclusive weapon gives normal attack instead of magic attack. Just oops. That's a big oops. I don't know why it takes 3 hours to change it though. That's crazy to me. They just went into emergency like that for 3 hours, but yeah, that's it from you guys. I think we will have more news next week, if I'm not mistaken, because I think we should be getting more news about like the end of the month. I'm hoping there's some more stuff that's coming, because I think a lot of things run out next week, if I'm not mistaken, from like events and stuff. Maybe not, but I'm hoping something new in terms of rewards and stuff gets added next week. We'll see if that's going to be the case. Maybe I was wrong and maybe this is all we're getting, and yeah, we'll just riding the other half, well, the last week I suppose, just to finish off the month and finish off the summer event. But I'm really hoping that they have something, like one more thing stored for us for like the last week of this month, but it just becomes less and less likely with time. I was hoping to get information today, quite honestly, but it is what it is. Alright, I'm not gonna prolong any more, so that's it from me guys, and until I see you next time. Peace.